Thank you so much for letting me know. All right. Okay. Now, can hear now. That's great. All right. Thank you. Okay. This is for students who have struggles with creativity in their compositions. Okay, we understand sometimes teachers might tell their students that, oh, shall not tell, be more creative. Okay, these are all things that students struggle with. Okay, and here this solution that we're giving students is called story banking. It is a technique that will help them to really grow, and to really grow, to change the direction in composition, to actually attain the results that they want. Okay, so it is definitely something to be interested in. All right, in the meantime, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channels across all platforms. We are currently available on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Xiaohongshu, and LinkedIn. Okay, so definitely follow us to get updates on these platforms, as well as to hear the latest educational content we have prepared. Sometimes we really do talk about learning strategies. We talk about synonym lists. We even give out these lists on our blog pages. Okay, so definitely do take a look if it feels like it might be something you're interested in. All right. Now, for those who just arrived, welcome. I am Jia. I am currently sharing what students will gain from our June PSLE composition writing crash course. Okay. Now, do note that all of this information can be found on our website. So do comment or WhatsApp us should you have any questions. All right. Now, to carry on with this program, we will also be helping students with writing techniques and language mechanics. We want to enhance your child's writing style and sentence structure using key grammar tips and creative writing techniques. Okay, so how to write a captivating hook. So it's just no more. One day I woke up today the sun was shining. Okay, we want something more abstract. We want something more sophisticated compared to that. And yeah, these are just not the options that we want to look at. Okay, PSLE exam strategies. We want to guide your child to mastering exam smart strategies such as time management and adaptation skills to tackle any composition questions. Okay, now for that, we will be helping your child to make sure that they are able to, number one, pace themselves during the exam, make sure they have enough practice so that they are confident during the exam, make sure that they are able to have a nice study plan, to understand the importance of time management in general. Okay, it is so important for students to be able to plan how they're gonna proceed with their studies, whether it is during the exam, how they are pacing themselves, or when they are planning for the exam, how they are balancing their play, how they're balancing their work. Okay, these are all super important. All right. Now we also have vocab bank. Okay, we want to help students enhance their vocab bank. We will be passing these students 50 PSLE composition phrases to elevate writing, add depth and variety to their compositions. Okay, now this is something that we always advocate for. You can see in every single one of our crash courses, in every single one of our lives, in our TikTok classes, and even in our regular classes. Okay, we really always advocate for vocab because vocab is something that can truly change the way a student is delivering themselves. Okay, now vocab is something that can make students a lot more well spoken, sound a lot more informative, sound a lot more engaging. Okay, do let us know if you have any questions, all right, or if your child is going through anything in particular that we can possibly advise you on. All right. Also, students will be gaining a Writing to Work exclusive PSLE model compositions. Okay, we want to help them to gain an age with 15 brand new exclusive model compositions, and this is something that's available only in this crash course. So definitely something to be excited about. Okay, crash courses, not crash courses, model compositions are just something that have so many benefits because students are not only able to learn different phrases, different wordings as with a normal lesson, but this is also super beneficial for students who would rather study on their own. And the thing about model compositions is that it contextualizes comments made by teachers as well as guidelines of what students should be doing to achieve grades so well that they're able to look at it and be like, oh, so that's what you wanted me to do, right? It's so easy for teachers to comment, but sometimes we do have to understand that the comments that teachers are giving students are not exactly comments that they can directly understand. Okay, if we tell them to show not tell, okay, what does that mean? Okay, students will read that comment and their head will go blank. Okay, we don't want that, and that's why it's so valuable for to have these model compositions. And for that exact reason, it is why the model compositions that we're providing them are so valuable because they're not only model compositions, they are also brand new and model compositions that have been vetted through by our teachers. Okay, so definitely something to be looking forward to. All right, now bonus offer. All right, we have a bonus offer as well. Students will also be receiving a set of past year PSLE exam questions and top school PSLE composition questions. Okay, we'll be sharing the most commonly tested topics. We definitely want our students to do well. Okay, so definitely sign up today for our PSLE composition writing crash course. Okay, we really want our students to be able to take away as much as they can from our courses. All right. Now, at this point, I understand that some parents and students might be thinking, okay, this is a holiday writing practice. How much academic progress can you bring to me or my child in just 5 days? Okay, valid question, and it's very valid for you to have some doubts. Okay, but I do want to highlight that this is a super packed workshop. It is an exam strategy focused workshop. It is designed. Its design is to turn average writers into confident exam-ready storytellers. So definitely, if your child is struggling in PSLE, it might be worth it to consider this. All right. I also understand that parents also want to meet our teachers. They want to make sure that our teachers are on the right track. And I can tell you that our teachers have been marking these PSLE. Our teachers mark PSLE questions all the time. They mark scripts daily. They know the PSLE format inside out, and they've helped many PSLE students to achieve solid AL1s in their PSLE English. Okay, we also have a bit of technical issues today, so we are currently unable to show you guys our teachers, but we will do so as soon as we can. All right. We actually have so many videos planned, but for people who do want to take the chance to meet our teachers, we have our videos posted on LinkedIn. Okay, it's such a great way for students to meet our teachers. Okay, you can check us out on LinkedIn and view those videos. All right. I sincerely apologize for the technical issues. Okay, we will be working our best to make sure that we're able to show you these videos we have prepared for you on our lives as soon as possible. All right. Okay, back to our teachers. Our teachers also make elaborate lesson plans. Okay, I understand the stress. Okay, some parents might think, okay, if no matter how good a program is, if your teachers aren't good, you're not gonna deliver. You're not gonna be able to help my child, and that is completely true. We understand. Okay, so we do want to highlight to you that our teachers do have those years of experience. Our teachers do mark composition scripts daily. They do the work daily. They understand what is required of the students. They have seen many different students through different PSLE sessions. So definitely it is worth a shot. All right. So over here, I do want to show our parents the lesson plans our teachers make. So as to prove to you guys that our teachers don't just waltz into lesson. They don't just go into lesson and teach whatever comes to mind. Okay, that's not what we do. Our teachers make these elaborate lesson plans and they hope to fill our lessons with as much content as possible. Okay, our teachers do love to see our students succeed, and that is something that is reflected through testimonials and results. All right, there's really no better proof than student results when it comes to good teaching. So definitely for parents and students who are interested, please stay tuned. All right, we will be giving you guys some chances to meet our teachers here at Writers at Work, just unfortunately not right now because of the technical issues. Okay, but also I will be showing you guys some student results so that everyone can have a better idea of the results we are receiving here at Writers at Work after our classes. All right. All right. Now, before I share more about classes, here are the student results. Okay. Like I mentioned previously, there is really no better proof of effective teaching and education than student results. Okay. Here are some of the results our students have obtained after our classes. Okay, so if you prefer some statistics, we have also got you covered. But for now, please take a look. Okay. These are some of the results our students obtained after our classes. You can see over here we have Townham Primary School and Alexandra Primary School. Okay, so for the P6 prelim exam, both students scored full marks, and we're super proud of them. Okay, because full marks is not something to overlook. We are truly proud of these students who have joined our classes religiously, that they are able to achieve such grades. Okay, we are super proud of them. Okay, now when it comes to statistics, for those who are interested, Radisson Airworks is actually one of the top English tuition centers in Singapore. I am really not just saying that, okay? 90% of our PSLE cohort have since achieved AL 1 to 4, and 90% of our secondary school cohort 3 grades of improvement, okay? So as an established English tuition center since 2012, parents and students can really be rest assured that we have all the resources needed for the success you desire, okay? We understand that English is a communicative skill. It is something that not only impacts exam results, but also the way we present ourselves at every stage of life, okay? So we really, really do want the best for our students, and our teachers do want our students to succeed, okay? Okay, now for students coming 5 to 6, we also have something for students who are struggling for some with paper 2 or oral, okay? We offer the English paper 2 plus oral crash course, the oral thematic set A crash course, and the oral thematic B set crash course, okay? Now for the paper 2 plus oral crash course, students will have the chance to build confidence in oral communication and structured responses, master crucial grammar rules and techniques, improve comprehension, answering skills for closed and open-ended questions, learn synthesis and transformation rules to avoid common mistakes. Okay, so very, very specific issues that students might be facing, we are covering them all. Okay, we really, really do want to make sure that our students are achieving the grades that they desire, all right? We are, again, super proud of the students who have done well, and we want everyone to have a chance to feel that same way, all right? Okay, we also have the oral thematic set A crash course. This is all for June. Welcome everyone who has just joined the live. Hi, Joanne. Welcome everyone. All right, now for this oral thematic set A crash course, students will have the chance to master key oral exam themes to dive deep into more popular PSLE exam themes, okay? Again, patterns are so important when it comes to PSLE. We really want our students to make the most of your time so that they can have time to maybe relax for other subjects, okay? So definitely it's so important for us that students are studying effectively. One of the best ways to study effectively is to really get onto those teams, okay? Now, what do I mean by that? Now, when it comes to PSLE, there are certain teams that are more likely to come out than others, okay? You can do that by a simple like trend analysis, okay? Certain questions are just bound to come out, and certain questions, the likelihood pretty low, okay? So for that, I understand that some parents and students might be struggling to do the analysis themselves, but our teachers here have years of experience. Our center itself been here since 2012, okay? We have seen all these trends, we understand what it's about, okay? We are excited to deliver these popular exam teams that are most likely to come out to your child, to and to our students, okay? We really want to make sure that they are spending the best using the time as effectively as possible. And like I said, one of the best ways is to make sure they're studying something that is bound to come out, all right? We want to make sure that they're able to understand these teams, explore them, and present them fluently, all right? Now, when it comes to effective oral answering techniques, we want to teach your child a proven method to structure their oral responses, ensuring clear, coherent, and well-organized answers, okay? These are all super important because it makes sure that they are always in a state where they are able to deliver their whatever content they have clearly, okay? Now, when it comes to content, the impact of content can be drastically changed and factored by the way it is structured, the way it is delivered, okay? So definitely the way the students deliver it, how well they enunciate, how well they structure their content, which content comes first and which comes later, these are all things that heavily impacts the way their work is perceived, okay? So it's definitely something we want to work on with students and make sure that they are able to master, all right? Now, we will also be providing your child with strategies or exam strategies that help them navigate the exam, manage their time effectively, and their score. Okay, now the thing about time management is that, like I mentioned before, it is something that truly follows them wherever they go. As a person, I truly regret that I did not pick up a more efficient time management system earlier on, and I feel like it is something that has held me back at many points of my life, okay? So it is definitely something that we want to work on with our students, with our children, okay? So definitely so important that students be able to pick up time management. Time management is something that stays important really in the exam you have to be able to manage your time and pace yourselves so that you are able to answer the questions both detailedly and at the same time at a speed where you can finish. All right, and at the same time when you're prepping for your exam, it is so important for students to be able to balance that fun and work. Okay, have a good work-life balance. Okay, super important. We really do want to make sure that students are pacing themselves, and these all boils down to a study technique, study schedule. Okay, over 10 relevant reading articles. We also want you to help your child to stay current with trending and relevant topics in the PSLE, and we will be giving them our carefully selected reading articles for that purpose. Okay, we want to give them 10 relevant reading articles, and this is something that will truly be able to enhance the content they understand, enhance the content they are able to deliver during the exam itself. Okay, so again, super important. All right, expand your vocab. So we will be adding 50 essential PSLE oral exam phrases to your child's vocab bank. Something we want to do to empower them to articulate the thoughts more effectively. Okay, so definitely, again, it is about delivery, it is about content. We really do want to make sure our students are able to produce content, to communicate their ideas in a way that is understandable and engaging. All right, definitely. Exclusive PSLE model oral responses. Okay, we want to give your child an idea of what high quality oral responses look like, and it can be done with an especially designed model answer. All right, these are all things that we'll be giving to your child. We really do want to make sure that they have a clear idea of what these responses look like so that they are able to learn the structure and deliver it on their own. All right. Now, I do want students to know that with this set A is actually the same as set B. The only difference being their teams, the teams they talk about. Okay, they are different. Okay, so it really depends on what you rather your child work with. Maybe they're weaker with a certain team, another they really struggle whenever that kind of specific question comes out. Okay, it's definitely something that we want students to have. All right. We also have the oral thematic set B course, like I mentioned, okay, slightly different. I will be going through that in a bit. But for those that just joined, welcome. I'm Jia, and I'm currently going through the oral thematic crash courses we currently have. Okay, now please drop me a message if you have any questions. Okay, drop me a message in the chat or WhatsApp, and we will do our best to assist you. All right, let's move on. Now, this is the oral thematic set B crash course. For those who just joined, I'm going to go through it again, even though it's the same. The teams are super different, so please be careful and do consider before you're buying. All right. All right. Now, the oral thematic B set crash course. Students will have the chance to, number one, master key oral exam teams. Okay. We want to make sure that students are able to dive into the most popular PSLE exam teams. So each day, students will explore these teams and learn how to discuss them creatively. Okay, so definitely we'll be helping students to master exam teams. Effective oral answering techniques. So we want to teach your child a proven method to structure and oral responses, ensuring clear, coherent, and well-organized answers. Okay, so when it comes to oral answering techniques, techniques are also super important, can help you to not only structure your content, but think of small little ways that can help students to make their speech more coherent. All right. Oral exam strategies. We also want to provide your child with strategies that help them to navigate the exam, manage their time effectively, and their score. Okay, so definitely when it comes to well-structured responses, it is so important that students are aware of the strategies that are available to them. Okay, we want to increase the exposure, make sure that students do know, but it's so important that students do their own research as well. All right, over 10 relevant reading articles. All right, we want to help your child to stay current with trending and relevant topics in the PSLE reading articles. Okay, so we will be providing over 10 relevant reading articles to make sure that they know what is going on, make sure that they have enough content to work with. Okay, we will also be expanding their vocab. Okay, so we will add over 50 PSLE oral exam phrases to your child's vocab bank. We want to empower them to articulate themselves more effectively. Okay, so and that's actually one of the best ways to do that. All right. Finally, before our break with an exclusive PSLE oral exam model composition. Okay, so definitely we want to give your child a clear idea of what high quality oral response looks like, especially in especially when it comes to a model design answer. All right, so definitely it is something to look forward to. Okay, now we'll be having a 2-minute break. Let you guys stare at the poster. Okay, do let me know if you have any other questions. Hi everyone. I see so many questions. Back again. Oh, hi Mianbao. Did Tano stop by or something? Break. Oh yes, break. We were on a little break, okay? I need a little break too. We also have been having technical issues, and I would have shown you guys we have some content prepared, right? But we have been having some issues. If anyone knows your way around that, please tell us. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay, let's begin again. Okay. Okay, now let's start off with a technique that I do want to share with everyone, okay? It is a very fun technique that has helped a lot of different students, all right? Now, for those who are waiting to hear the story banking techniques, here we are, all right? So thank you for staying tuned. I will now be going through this fantastic technique that has helped students solve issues with planning, lack of creativity, over and under usage of writing techniques, and much, much more, okay? Now, the gist of story banking is trying, refining, and remembering. Okay, now what do I mean by this? Now, students are led to write and refine or to find a piece of writing that is approved by a teacher. Okay, a piece of writing that will get them great marks and learn to replicate that piece of writing according to the given question. Okay, now Writers at Work really advocates for this technique because it allows students to enter the exam with a piece that will secure them high grades. Okay, something that will remove further stress from exam jitters or creative blocks in the exam hall, okay? But the question is, how easy is this technique, okay? My answer would be both easy and hard, okay? Now, while this technique does make performing in exam situations easier, it is so important for students to learn how to adapt their stories instead of regurgitating content, okay? That is why our compo crash courses are so important because they not only show new and effective techniques to these students, but they also show them how to use these techniques effectively, okay? Regurgitating content can truly only bring students so far. But the ability to adapt content as we teach our students can really allow them to jump their grades in ways they can't imagine, okay? So it's really, really important that students are not only aware of this technique, but they are able to implement them as effectively as possible, okay? That is something that we are aiming for here at Writers at Work, all right? Now, when it comes to June holiday program, okay, we really try to cater to as many needs as possible. So if your child is also struggling with other areas of English so close to PSLE, or if your child is in lower or middle primary and looking for some support, don't worry, I've got you, all right? Okay, now this is, let's go through the primary 1 and 2, okay? Now, when it comes to primary 1 and 2 students, some parents might be thinking, okay, my child is in primary 1 and 2. Is it truly necessary for them to be having classes? They're primary 1 and 2. They have a long way to go. They're just having fun now. Okay, hear me out, okay? For primary 1 and 2 students, they are at the beginning of their primary school journey, okay? So a good foundation is absolutely important for them because it helps them to not only cultivate a good academic background, it helps them to grow and with a positive outlook towards their academics, okay? We want our students, we want our children to be able to look at their academics and say that this is something that I want to work on, this is something that I want to be proactive in, okay? Now, if a primary school student got used to getting super good grades, they are more likely to become more proactive and start trying to work towards these good grades themselves, okay? So definitely it does give them a sense of direction, all right? Now, to dive deeper into what's offered, we have both the compo writing and beginner oral crash course for primary 1 and 2, okay? Now, students will learn in their compo writing crash course how to unpack composition questions, okay? We will teach them how to analyze composition questions and help them to understand what is required in writing and how to craft meaningful answers, okay? Lower primary composition planning skills, okay? We will be guiding your child to develop composition planning techniques, teaching them how to structure their writing for clarity and flow. That is something that we'll be working on when it comes to primary 1 and 2, okay? Writing techniques and language mechanics, okay? Through grammar-focused lessons, we will also be helping your child to strengthen their writing style, overall sentence structure, and overall language mechanics, okay? So language mechanics is something that is so important to have a good foundation in because like I mentioned before, Language mechanics is the true foundation of whatever we're doing, all right? No matter how good your content is, no matter how good your structure is, no matter how interesting whatever you're saying is, if you're not able to deliver your content in a way that is understandable by everyone around you, you're not using accurate language, everything else falls through, okay? So it's absolutely so important for students to be able to have that strong foundation in language mechanics, language techniques from a young age, so that they're consistently able to identify what language is able to allow them to speak clearly, what language allows them to be understood, all right? Okay, expand vocab bank. Okay, again, this is something we speak about in every single crash course. This is something that we speak about in every single TikTok live, something we speak about in all our regular classes. This is just something that we're always talking about. All right, now for this, we will help primary students to achieve 30 composition phrases. Okay, we want to help them to enhance their writing. Okay, we will be helping them to enhance it with rich vocab, helping them to express ideas more clearly and creatively. Okay, again, the benefits of vocab also extend to primary 1 and 2 students. There's absolutely no doubt that if you're able to speak in with more sophisticated language in a more engaging way, that people are just more likely to listen to you. Okay, that is something that not only goes for older students but as well as younger students, and especially because they're younger, it is so important for them to have that strong foundation and be able to speak in a way that engages people. Okay, now, we will also be helping primary 1 and 2 students in our class to master 3 writers at work model compositions. Okay, again, especially with younger students, actually, it is especially the case of younger students that it's very, very hard for them to fully understand what you want of them when you give them comments on their paper. Maybe if you're telling them that you need to show, not tell, you need to write your sentence structure better, you need to stop using the words I, you need to stop using the words walk, you need to stop using the word said. These are things that they understand, but they don't understand how to implement whatever solution is there to their composition. Okay, that's why model compositions are so important, because you can actually annotate with them and teach them, say, okay, you have to do this, and by doing this, you will be able to do a better job, you'll be able to get better grades. Okay, so these things are more explicit, they are more certain. Okay, they are able to identify exactly what you want from them and put it in their own composition. And that's why model compositions are something that we will always be using. And with the primary 1 and 2 students, we will be helping them to master at least 3 model compositions. We'll help them to learn to craft engaging compositions while studying these 3 unique writers at work model compositions. And this is something that is exclusive to this holiday program. So honestly, at this moment of time, if this sounds like something that your child really needs, your child would really benefit from, this is the time to make your purchase. This is your time to come and sign up for our classes. All right. All right. Now, this is the last crash course we have for primary 1 and 2. Okay, it's the oral crash course. Okay, and it's actually one of the most exciting crash courses that we have planned. Okay, now for this oral crash course, students will be able to gain confidence in speaking in our 3-day interactive oral program. Where are the classes held? Very interesting question. I will let our moderator drop the locations in the chat for you so that you're able to see. All right. Okay. Now, while the moderator is replying to your message in chat, all right, I will continue explaining what we have here for the oral primary 1 and 2 oral program. Okay. So over here. Okay, I do want to highlight that younger students, maybe they have shorter attention spans, and that's completely understandable. That is completely normal. Okay, so now one of the more important things for students at this stage is that to make sure that they are able to they are interested in what they're learning. Okay, that is one of the main things that we want to make sure. Okay, I think they mean the classes for the crash course. They mean crash course classes. Yeah, the location for the crash course. All right. Yeah, but definitely, so we have created something that is more adventurous, something that is more intriguing, especially for the primary 1 and 2s, and that's why it's so exciting. Okay, it is an adventure-based course that strengthens oral communication, reading fluency, and vocab through storytelling and creative activities. Okay, we will be following along the exciting oral adventure of Who Stole the Dragon's Egg. So essentially, your child, or if you are a student here watching, you will become a young detective solving the mystery of the stolen dragon's egg while learning key oral skills. Okay, now the best thing about that is that it actually invites these students to actively engage. Okay, it is interactive. It's not just where you sit here and learn. Okay, when it comes to sitting here and learn, that would be super effective to older students. Okay, but at this age, when it comes to primary 1 and 2 students, they are 7, 6, 7, 8. They want to have fun, they want to be out there, they want to explore. Okay, and we're giving that to them. Okay, we are giving them this seamlessly integrated lesson, okay, in this adventure, to make sure that they are learning in a way that they enjoy. All right, now day 1, okay, it's a 3-day course. Day 1 is the friendly fairy, where students focus on pronunciation, articulation, and enunciation to help your child speak clearly and accurately. Okay, now this is super important because, like I mentioned before, the way you speak directly impacts the way whatever you're saying is received. All right, so one of the best ways to be heard clearly, to be understood, is to speak clearly. Okay, and with that, it is so important that students at such a young age build this mindset, build this skill, that they are able to speak clearly, they're able to speak fluently. Okay, so that's definitely something we want to build for them. All right, day 2 is the wise visit. We want to make sure that students are able to speak with rhythm. We want to improve their rhythm fluency and help them to speak in a way that has a smooth natural flow. Okay, so that is definitely that's definitely something that we want. All right, so now that is why it is super important for us to help train these students at such a young age, to teach them at such a young age, because we want to make sure that they are on track. We want to make sure that they have a foundation in speaking naturally. Okay, we don't want them to sound too forced when they're speaking. Okay, because like I mentioned before, the way someone speaks, the way a person conveys their message can directly impact the impact of the message they have. All right, okay, day 3 is the grumpy goblin, the last day. All right, we want to help students to enhance expressiveness, intonation, and emotion to bring speech to life, feeling, and tone. This is always the thing that I tell my audience. Would you rather hear someone who's speaking in a monotonic voice like this with no expression on their face? Or would you rather hear someone that is emotive, someone that speaks with emotion, someone that uses gestures, someone that is always has a smile on their face? Okay, so which one would you rather listen to? Okay, it will definitely be the latter. Okay, we definitely always want to hear people who are passionate about what they say, more emotive people. Okay, and this is something that has to be built up from a young age. We definitely want our students to have this foundation, so this is something we will definitely be also focusing on in our classes. All right, now, to break down, what will your child gain? Okay, now students will be able to master oral communication, to speak clearly with confidence and proper tone. Okay, this is something that's so important. Okay, we want to help students to improve reading fluency, to strengthen the pronunciation in expressive reading. Okay, expand vocab. Okay, vocab is something that's so important no matter whether you're in primary school, your secondary school, or JC, uni, poly, or even if you're in the workforce already. Vocab is something that really can change the impact of the things you say. All right, we want to help students to learn new words to describe characters and emotions, and it's really the best time for them to learn, because we'll be teaching them with this kind of in an adventure-based course. It's a great way to learn describing characters, to learn describing emotions. Okay, and finally, to enhance creativity, to use voice, facial expressions, and gestures to tell engaging stories. Again, what better time to learn than when they are going to an adventure-based course. Okay, so interaction is such a great way to learn this, and it is definitely something that we wish our students will be able to pick up. Okay, now finally, students will be able to solve the mystery. Okay, we understand that this might be to the best interest of younger students. Okay, and that's understandable. Okay, so we definitely want to give them the interactive adventure that they are looking for, while at the same time we're able to seamlessly integrate the lessons that we also want them to learn. Okay, so definitely that is where our focus is at. Okay, Of course, if you can't make it into this June holidays, understandable. Everyone has very busy schedules, especially parents who might not necessarily have off days. Okay, we also have upcoming crash courses arranged for future school holidays. Okay, so definitely drop us a follow on any of our platforms and wait for updates to roll in. Okay, we're currently on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Xiaohongshu. So definitely subscribe and like our posts. Okay, stay online, stay with us, stay connected. Okay, we will be dishing out educational content all the time. So if you're having a bit of struggle with guiding your child, or you feel like your child would benefit from some vocab lists, these are all things that can be found for free on our blog posts, on our socials. Okay, so definitely drop us a follow and you shall be able to see all the latest educational content. Okay, remember that consistency is key in learning and that students will observe more effective learning from consistent classes. Okay, our classes and materials will also be different during different holiday seasons, so definitely don't be afraid about your child being put through the same class twice. It is so important for our kids, for our students to be able to always be on task. Okay, when it comes to holidays, it is that gap in learning, and that is where students can lose momentum, and that is so dangerous, especially since PSLE is not that far away. O levels are not that far away either. Okay, it's so stressful for parents, and it's so important for students to be able to keep that momentum. Okay, momentum is so important. It can drastically change the pacing of which they're studying, the direction they're going in their studies. Okay, so definitely holiday programs are one of the best ways for them to be able to have not only that bit of connection between the holidays to maintain that momentum, but to also have a bit of consolidation for what they have learned. Okay, are you from? I am not. I am not. I am Singaporean. All right, but yes, definitely it is something to be looking forward to. Okay, now we are unable for some reason, some technical issues. We are not able to show our teachers. Okay, the videos are just not playing. However, I do want to highlight that our teachers are made up of seasoned educators. Our team is made up of seasoned educators who live and breathe English. Okay, they truly have a passion for English. They know the PSLE format inside out. They have marked composition scripts daily, and they've helped many students to achieve AL1s in PSLE English. Okay, so definitely it is. We understand the stress that parents are facing when choosing a good tutor, when choosing a good teacher. Okay, teachers super important in the journey of education, and we understand that a good program does not add much value if a teacher can deliver. Okay, that is simply the truth. That is sadly the truth. Okay, but our teachers, we know our teachers, and for the parents who have met our teachers, for the parents that have sent their students to be taught by our teachers, they have positive testimonials, and these are things that we definitely want to show you guys more as the day goes on. All right, but for those who are still in doubt, please follow our socials, get a chance to meet our teachers, see the videos that we have posted. All right, I hope that everyone has a great day. We are currently at 5:30 already, so we will be ending the live right now. Okay, but thank you everyone so much for joining our live.